This is Vegas Valley H2O, a show dedicated to water in our desert community. Now, as Southern Nevada continues to face federal mandatory reductions to our water supply here at Lake Mead, our mission is to let you know that the valley's water supply is secure even as conditions at the lake, they don't look so promising. Where we're filming this episode is Colville Bay, and behind me you can see the marina, and then out in the distance at a big rock behind us, you see the water line, the high mark, where the water was at Lake Mead 20 years ago. You've seen what's been happening at the lake, and the community, you all have responded big time. In 2022, the numbers show that we're one of the best in the world at conservation, and we'll give you those numbers in just a few seconds. Also in this episode, an update on the outlook for 2023 from Southern Nevada Water Authority General Manager John Entsminger, including insight into negotiations along the Colorado River between the states that share it. If you're a customer of the Las Vegas Valley Water District, your rates may be impacted by new conservation measures designed to save water. Stay tuned for details. And should you water plants with drip irrigation the same amount you water grass with sprinklers? The short answer is no. We get this question a lot, and we'll dive into it. But let's start with a massive thank you to you, and you know who you are. We asked you to conserve, we asked you to remove useless grass and manage your outdoor irrigation, and you did it big time in 2022. Here's just how much water you saved last year.
Hey everybody, John Entsminger, General Manager with the Southern Nevada Water Authority and the Las Vegas Valley Water District. Coming into 2023, just want to give you a brief update on where we've gotten to with our conservation efforts over the last 3 years and where we're headed. So in summary, as you guys know, over the last 20 years, we've added almost 800,000 new people to the valley and reduced our overall water footprint by about 26%. But we've really accelerated our efforts in the last 3 years. In 2020, in the depths of the pandemic, we actually used 256,000 acre feet of water. In 2021, we drove that down to 242,000 acre feet, and in 2022, we drove it down to 224,000 acre feet, all at the same time that across all of our jurisdictional lines, we were adding 45,000 new connections to the valley. So about a 12% decrease in our water consumption over that 3-year period, coupled with about 8 to 9% increase in total new accounts across all of SNWA's member agencies. So we continue to demonstrate to our community, to the region, and really to the world that we can continue to diversify our economy, to welcome new people to the valley, all while doing it with an overall negative water footprint. So that's great successes for us over the last 3 years. Going into this year, obviously, full implementation of Assembly Bill 356 is imperative. We've removed over 7 million square feet of turf from the valley in 2022, and I hope we do that or more in 2023. Our board has now passed the moratorium on evaporative cooling, so that's for building permits pulled after September of 2023 and for certificates of occupancy by January of 2026. So full implementation of that and getting that into all of the municipal codes will be a major effort, as well as all of our traditional water smart landscaping programs, working with residences who continue to lead the way in water conservation. So we have been the most successful municipality in terms of water conservation in the world. The last 3 years has only burnished that reputation, and we're going to carry it forward over the next year or two. Turning our attention to Colorado River negotiations. As everyone knows, the hydrology from 2020, 2021, 2022 has been really bad and has seen the total combined storage in the reservoirs fall below 30% for the first time in history. And this is a river system that has 40 million Americans that rely upon it, 5 million acres of irrigated agriculture. So it's all hands on deck to make sure that we can take care of our our communities, while at the same time living within the amount of water that Mother Nature is giving us. The federal government has launched a NEPA process that will come up with new operating regime by August. Right now, the 7 states are working hard together to try to come up with a consensus proposal that can hopefully be analyzed under NEPA, have a draft environmental impact statement out on the street by the end of March or so, with a record of decision in that August timeframe, to try to give everybody who relies upon this river more certainty going into 2024. So those are 2 of our big things for 2023. We're going to continue to take care of ourselves in terms of conservation and demand management, and work with our neighbors to try to make this river work for everybody else too.
Spring has arrived, and as of March 1st, the mandatory spring watering restrictions are in effect. Now, this is a really important time of year for growth in your landscape, but it's also an extremely important time to stay conservation-minded and not overwater, especially while temperatures can still be a little cool. We're going to tackle a simple question that is a big opportunity to give your plants the water they need and still conserve. Do I water with drip irrigation the same amount or the same number of days as sprinklers? The answer is no. With so many across the valley replacing their grass with drip irrigated desert plants, our water usage has shifted quite a bit. Mandatory watering restrictions for the spring allow watering up to 3 days a week in the months of March and April, and never on Sunday. Typical sprinkler irrigation like this is massively inefficient. It just sprays water everywhere. Some of it ends up on grass, some of it on sidewalks, and some of it into thin air. So for grass with sprinklers, up to 3 days a week with 12 minutes max per day will keep functional grass growing without overwatering. But we love drip irrigation because it's extremely efficient at delivering our precious water right where plants and trees need it the most, right at the roots, needing much less water than grass, and here's the key, it needs to be applied differently. In the spring, your drip irrigated plants should be watered 1 or 2 days a week. That's it. If your emitters look like this with a high flow, water for 30 minutes or less. If your emitters look similar to this with a low flow, water for 60 minutes or less. To find what time works, just keep an eye on your landscape. If it looks healthy, dial it back a few minutes and you could save quite a bit of water. If plants look stressed, however, add an emitter to the plants that need a little help versus adding watering time to all your plants. Tailoring your watering schedule is extremely easy using a smart irrigation controller connected to your phone. There's a rebate for that too on snwa.com. Saving water equals saving you money.
As most people know, the Colorado River has been in terrible shape for a while, and it's only getting worse, sadly. And so we have been out actively trying to get people to reduce their consumptive water footprint. And when it comes to reducing the no-kidding consumptive water footprint of a facility, nobody has been a better partner to us than the Clark County School District.
The school district has actually done water conservation projects for many years, starting with our teachers and administrators converting non-play areas of grass to garden programs for educational purposes that really helped the mission of the school district and also conserve water. That was really the start of our relationship with the Water Authority. So we have rebate programs working with the Water Authority, from conservation programs with gardens going back many years, and that has rolled into bigger resource conservation programs.
If you think about it, I mean, people don't really get their heads around just how big their inventory is. I mean, they have hundreds of facilities, and a lot of those facilities were built decades ago. And that was a different time, right? And so they had a lot of grass in them, they had all evaporative cooling, and so each one of these schools had a pretty big water footprint consumptively. And so the school district has taken its own initiative and said, for the future, how are we going to design and build our schools in a way that are more sustainable in this environment?
So when you talk about the school district's water conservation projects, we've started small and now we've gone massive with football fields. We converted 29 football fields from grass to synthetic turf. And here we are today to talk about non-play conversions, which is an even bigger opportunity for the school district. We've so far converted over 1 million square feet of grass across about 20 schools. We're looking to get well over 4 or 5 million square feet across about 200 schools.
And we're making a lot of headway with the turf. And then what's next? The evaporative cooling. They have been right out there on the tip of the spear when it comes to evaporative cooling. They've taken the initiative. We're partnering with them. We are actually doing reconnaissance around the world to find the best non-evaporative or waterless cooling systems that exist. And they've been a willing partner to say, okay, well, let's try this here and see how it works.
We've had a years-long partnership with the Water Authority to upgrade our cooling towers to reduce the evaporative losses associated with cooling our systems. And so we've converted well over 60 schools to more efficient cooling tower systems, with another 20 or 30 in the works right now. The Southern Nevada Water Authority has helped us every step of the way when it comes to identifying the roadmap and how we want to prioritize work, what kind of work we want to do. We have a lot of opportunity at the school district. The Water Authority has a lot of the horsepower to help us get this stuff done, and not just rebates, not just expertise, but work out in the community to help find ideas, to help us partner with other organizations to get things done. And again, we're all focused on making the water footprint of the school district lower, but also everyone in the valley lower, so that we can have a more sustainable environment.
In response to the ongoing mega drought in the West, the worst drought in the region in 12 centuries, the federal government has issued additional mandatory cuts to Southern Nevada's water supply in 2023. Conservation is of utmost importance. In an effort to reduce water use, the Las Vegas Valley Water District has implemented an excessive use charge for residential customers in 2023. This excessive use charge targets the top 10% of residents. Some of these customers use more water in 1 month than the average customer does in 1 year, consuming nearly 30% of the water delivered to all single-family homes. The charge carries a fee of $9 per 1,000 gallons to residential customers who use water beyond newly established seasonal excessive use thresholds. The winter threshold is 14,000 gallons per month, November through February. The spring threshold is 16,000 gallons per month in March and April. The summer threshold is 28,000 gallons per month, May through August. The fall threshold is 26,000 gallons per month in September and October. These thresholds are approximately 3 times the average household use during each season. If you use more water than each season allows, you'll be charged the excessive use fee. To avoid the excessive use charge on your water bill, follow the mandatory seasonal watering restrictions for your landscape. Scale back your watering even if you have drip on plants, and don't wait any longer to replace your grass with a water-smart landscape.
Our number one priority is making sure that we always safely and reliably can deliver water to the Las Vegas Valley. And here in asset management, we take our job very seriously when it comes to proactive maintenance. So today we're out here doing an inspection of a 96-inch lateral, one of our critical large diameter pipelines that delivers water from Lake Mead into the valley. A lot of the technology that we use here at the district and in asset management is used to be able to see the inside of the pipes various different ways. If the pipeline's small, we've got remote operated vehicles that we can drive in there, whether the pipeline's full of water or drained. In this case, we got such a large diameter pipeline, it's big enough for manned entry. Today we're here doing an electromagnetic inspection of this large diameter pipeline, which essentially I compare it to an x-ray machine that you'd go to the doctor's office to look at a small fracture in your bone. However, in this case, this device can see any small breaks in the high tensile wires that wrap around the outside of the pipe that provide that strength that we're looking for to hold back that pressure in the pipeline. So that allows us to do this without having to do any excavation around the pipeline. We can do it inside the pipeline in a controlled environment. We work behind the scenes to do leak detection and condition assessment of various buried assets that people don't see in their day-to-day lives. Now we do this to ensure that we can continue to provide a safe and reliable water system without disruptions to each and every customer that we serve here in the valley.
With 2 decades of drought and federally mandated water cuts to southern Nevada, using less water is critical. To achieve additional conservation and respond to federal water cuts, the Las Vegas Valley Water District has made changes to residential water rates affecting nearly half of customers and high water users. Manage your water bill by reducing outdoor water use and following seasonal watering restrictions. Learn more and use the water bill estimator at lvvwd.com to see how rate changes could affect you. This message is sponsored by LVVWD, aired in partnership with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
We all have goals in life. Maybe it's more travel, more income, but for water utilities in southern Nevada, the goal is not more money. We want your water to sustain our thriving community, and the key number is 86.
Back in 2000, the word drought wasn't in our vocabulary like it is today. Lake Mead was full, and southern Nevada acted like it, consuming 322,000 acre-feet of water, 22,000 acre-feet above our federal allotment of 300,000 acre-feet. Break that down, and you get the number 211 GPCD, or gallons per capita per day, the amount of water used valley-wide on a per-person basis. It was the peak of excess use, especially with grass planted all over the valley.
We used a lot of water at a time when we thought the Colorado River produced more than enough for the 7 states that share it. Clearly, we're in a very different situation now.
Now, we're all familiar with the dreary sights at Lake Mead due to the decades-long megadrought on the Colorado River, which we rely on for 90% of our water supply. We're thankful for a conservation-minded community that has drastically reduced its water use on a per capita basis.
Our community's steadfast dedication to the principles of water conservation have allowed us to reduce our per capita water use by nearly 50%, all while adding 800,000 new residents, building and diversifying our economy without the expansion of our water footprint.
Look at this graph, and all you need to know is that our gallons per capita per day number has dropped steadily in response to what we've seen at the lake. Preliminary numbers for 2022 put southern Nevada at 104 GPCD, half of what it was in 2000. But the number 86 is the key to the future. Every year, researchers at the Southern Nevada Water Authority create a water resource plan, laying out how to keep our desert communities sustainable for the next 50 years. To do it, we must reach the goal of 86 GPCD by the year 2035.
A man who's a lot smarter than me once said that water conservation is a journey and not a destination. But one of the important destination points on that journey is our community's goal to get to 86 gallons per capita per day by 2035.
To reach 86, everyone in the community will be asked and even required to play a role. Golf courses, properties with grass, homeowners who want to add a pool, businesses with evaporative cooling, and residential water rates are all part of it.
We have a number of steps that we've instituted over the last 6 to 12 months. Limitations in pool sizes, a ban on development of future golf courses, reduction in water budgets for current golf courses, and the removal of non-functional ornamental turf in our community. No one is being singled out, and no one is being spared.
Conservation is our #1 tool to ensure our community continues to thrive. Southern Nevada has been a world leader doing it. We simply need it to continue.
My name is Russell Peterson. I work for Anderson Dairy. I've worked for Anderson Dairy for over a couple decades. I'm in operations, and it's a pleasure to be able to work for Anderson Dairy. As being a good community citizen, we have decided that it was the right thing to do to be able to come in and to remove the turf and to be able to save some of that precious resource that we use. And it's important to us, we know it's important to our community, and so we have decided to remove the turf and install the artificial turf. One of the things that has weighed into that decision is the rebate that has been offered by the Southern Nevada Water Authority. And that was important to us. And so we decided to do it now, up front, at the beginning of that process, to be able to be that community example for other businesses that might also have a desire to do so.
So here at Anderson Dairy, the reason why they gave us a call here is because we're going to help them not only save water, but they're going to do their part to become a smart water business in the staple of Las Vegas.
As a dairy operation, people historically associate dairy with clean and green and all of those other wonderful attributes that they associate with dairy products. And so we didn't want to lose that. That's why we went to turf. So we're able to save the water but still maintain that image, that feel, that country feel that's important to a dairy.
So here at Anderson Dairy, their biggest concern is that they wanted to not only be a smart water business for Nevada, but they also wanted to save the trees. And so what we're doing here today is we're removing over 4,000 square feet of grass, and we're replacing it not only with turf, but we're redoing the irrigation lines to make sure that these trees are going to get not only enough pressure so we're not wasting any water, but they're still going to thrive in this weather that we do have in Vegas.
We felt that it's important because we're a long-standing business. We've been here since 1907. We want to set an example and be part of the community to say that we, having been here for so long, a long-standing member of the community, we want to show the community that we also are doing our part to be able to conserve.
With the mega drought in the west drastically reducing flows from the Colorado River, Lake Mead is now less than 30% full, and the federal government has issued additional mandatory cuts to Southern Nevada's water supply in 2023. Single-family homes account for more than 45% of our community's water use, and a majority of the water is used outdoors on landscapes. For perspective, resorts account for less than 5% of our community use. In an effort to conserve, the Las Vegas Valley Water District has implemented a new tier equalization billing structure for residential customers in 2023. Customers with 5/8-inch meters are already familiar with tier rates. Now, single-family residential customers with larger meters will be on the same tier system, ensuring all residential customers pay the same amount for the water they use, regardless of a home size or occupancy. The tier equalization change is designed as a conservation measure to reduce overall water use. To find your meter size, check your water bill. So, how will this impact your water bill? It depends on how much water you use in your billing period. Rates increase through 4 tiers. Tier 1 goes up to 5,000 gallons, representing a customer's typical monthly indoor water use for life's necessities, and is accordingly charged the lowest rate. Tier 2 from 5,000 to 10,000 gallons, and Tier 3 from 10,000 to 20,000 gallons generally represents a customer's outdoor watering use, which can vary greatly with factors like grass irrigation or a swimming pool. Tier 4 rates are reached by customers who are the community's heaviest water users, over 20,000 gallons in a month. If you don't typically look at your water bill or monitor your monthly water use, now is the time to start. You can avoid reaching higher tier rates by following the mandatory seasonal watering restrictions for your landscape. Scale back your watering, especially if you have drip on plants, and don't wait any longer to replace your grass with a water-smart landscape. The situation at Lake Mead is likely to continue, including federally mandated reductions to Southern Nevada's water supply. In response, the Southern Nevada Water Authority and its member agencies from all over the valley are taking steps to ensure all sectors, residents and businesses alike, reduce water use to protect the future of our community. And that also includes golf courses.
And we did a total of 39 acres.
Anthem Country Club is one of many courses working to do its part.
It was an easy sell to the members in the sense that let's be good stewards, a good example for the community, and let's get ahead of it.
What Anthem is getting ahead of is a reduction of golf course water budgets, dropping by about 1/3 beginning in 2024 from 6.3 acre-feet per irrigated acre to 4 acre-feet per irrigated acre. To reach that number, many courses have to invest in changes, reducing the amount of grass and even changing the type of grass.
Converting from cool season ryegrass, in our case, perennial ryegrass, we'll save easily 30%.
In 2022, Anthem Country Club shut down for 5 months to update its aging greens and convert its fairways on all 18 holes to a warm season Bermuda grass, a grass that goes dormant in the winter and requires far less water. 30 million gallons less per year across nearly 40 acres to be exact. You'll see it loses its color, but not its function.
From a playability standpoint, it's really a no-brainer. It's brown, but it's very playable. Dormant Bermuda's always been a high quality surface. You see it more and more all over the country. And there's methods you can do to keep it attractive by painting and so forth.
The driving range here in Anthem, this looks beautiful, right? Well, the grass I'm standing on is warm season Bermuda that is painted green. So this is a grass that conserves water. And we hear you, especially on social media, when you talk about golf as an industry and the ire over its water use. But we have to point out, this industry supports tourists, it supports locals, and it's an industry that uses about 5% of our annual water supply, whereas outdoor watering from residents accounts for about 60%. Course Superintendent James Simon speaks for many in the industry where changes like this are the role golf will have to play in our water story.
I think it's fair to say that golf course superintendents in general want to be good stewards of the resources they have because they're motivated across the board to save water because it's a budget, it's a bottom line issue, right? Playability is another big one. They don't want to overwater. And so this is just one more step where golf courses can make the right move and save more water. It will save on labor immensely because the hand watering required for cool season grasses through April, May, June, July, it was intense.
The Southern Nevada Water Authority provides cash for businesses and homeowners to convert grass through the Water Smart Landscapes rebate. Even as the course reopened in December 2022, Anthem will continue to utilize the rebate as the club has identified an additional 10 acres of grass on the course that will be removed, along with another 10 acres of grass areas outside the golf facility. And while the 2024 water budget reductions are coming fast, there's agreement that golf water usage can be trimmed and maintained properly, just like at any good course. In an effort to increase water conservation, the Las Vegas Valley Water District has made significant changes to rates for residential customers in 2023. Let's walk through your monthly water bill to see what those changes are and where they're reflected. First, let's point out your assigned watering group, located here. Your group determines which days of the week you can water outdoor landscapes. If you don't know your watering schedule, you can find it at lvvwd.com. Here indicates the size of your meter. If you have a meter larger than 5/8 inch, your water rates have changed. Below, tiers 1 through 4 are costs for water used during the billing cycle. The more water you use, the higher the tier you move into, and the more you will pay. These tiers have shifted for customers with meters larger than 5/8 inch. Tier 1 is the lowest rate for life's basic necessities. Additional tiers are generally an indicator of how much water a customer is using outdoors on landscaping or pools, with Tier 4 being reached by the community's heaviest water users and carrying the largest cost. Below that, the new excessive use charge will be reached by the community's top water users. This charge is an additional $9 per 1,000 gallons for customers who exceed a seasonal watering threshold. Excessive use thresholds for the entire year are also specified on lvvwd.com. Seasonal thresholds can cross billing cycles, so there could be statements that show excessive use charges for 2 seasons as indicated here. Lastly are charges by the Southern Nevada Water Authority, our community's water supplier for water treatment, infrastructure, and reliability. Take the time to look closely at your bill and water usage. Without action, rate changes could impact 50% of customers. Search residential bill on lvvwd.com for detailed information. Throughout the show, you have seen how the community has played individual roles on this journey to conservation. And at the very top of the show, how the Valley has expanded while using less water, a negative water footprint. Southern Nevada is proving it's possible that that can take place. So thank you for setting the standard for the rest of the world. I'm John Castanino. Thanks for watching Vegas Valley H2O, and thank you for staying water smart.